How do you know if you are having a spiritual awakening or if you're just burnt out? There is a fine line between burnout and spiritual awakening. And today, I'm going to help you tell the difference. Are you having a spiritual awakening moment? Is this part of spiritual awakening? Or are you just really burnt out from the life you're living? It is a common misconception that comes out that people think, oh, I'm ascending, I'm having a spiritual upgrade. But it also could be that you are burnt out and you need a break. So there's a fine line that is important to talk about. Burnout feels like numbness, flatness, irritability. You're tired and you're checked out. It's caused by prolonged stress, overwork, lack of boundaries, and emotional depletion. You know that feeling when you're like, I just want to throw everything out the window that I'm doing, all the roles, all the responsibilities, all those things that you have hanging on your head and your shoulders, and you just want to throw that beep out? That is burnout. Spiritual awakening feels raw. Your emotions are heightened and you feel everything. You're often triggered by emotional upheaval, inner conflict, loss, or even spiritual synchronicities. There's a different feeling when you are having a spiritual awakening where it is intense, but it's not like you want to run away from everything. You want to really feel everything and understand everything. Burnout is about depletion, where spiritual awakening is about disruption. Like I said before, when you are burnt out, you want to quit. You want to just get the heck out of there. You don't want to do all the things you have to do. And you have these really strong feelings of irritability, of annoyance, of being checked out. In burnout, you want to put your head in the sand. You want to escape into your phone. You want to scroll. You don't want to deal with the outside world. You just want to numb yourself. Whereas in a spiritual awakening, there's a pull towards something greater, something more meaningful. You don't want to give up. You want to go deeper. You want to take the time to really investigate and understand what is happening. In awakening, you feel everything, and that is the key. And when you're feeling burnt out, you feel exhausted. You have brain fog, you have body tension and sleep issues. You find yourself more irritable than you've ever really realized. You're so overly exhausted. You sit on the couch and you could just feel like every bit of your being is just done. You don't know what to do. You just don't want to do anything anymore. Where in spiritual awakening, there's a feeling of tingling, of light sensitivity. Your third eye may be feeling some pressure around it, and you have unexpected waves of energy, and you feel pulled to something greater, but you can't fully define it yet. And you have spontaneous energy waves where you might be a little bit tired, but then all of a sudden you get a big, vast wave of energy where you can do anything. The difference between burnout versus spiritual awakening is one is mental collapse. The other is energetic evolution. So how do you respond to each one? Well, number one, for burnout, you want to listen to your body and rest. You want to try to detach from scrolling, from numbing out, and really listen to what you need. Most likely, that's decreasing your stress load if you can, taking some restful breaks, literally getting rest, sleeping. That is huge because you're allowing your body to reset and reorganize. And that's what your body is craving. It's not just sleep, it's a nervous system repair. You also want to set boundaries to unplug and recharge and stick to those boundaries. And most importantly, you want to release any guilt about slowing down. We feel like we always have to be on the go, go, go. And there is this sense of guilt when you're not being productive, when you're not getting out there and pushing and going forward. Sometimes we need to slow down and take that break for our mind, body, spirit, and soul. So losing the guilt around this slowing down is huge. You must let yourself recover. If it's an awakening, you definitely want to journal what you're feeling, what's happening. You want to meditate and connect with your inner self, letting your energy shift with grace. And you want to trust that what's happening and with the time that it's happening is unraveling with divine grace and perfect timing. You're not lazy. You're not overly sensitive. You're either deeply depleted or deeply awakening. And either way, you deserve support. Have you been feeling off lately? Tired, disconnected, and even overwhelmed? You might think it's burnout, but what if it's something deeper? I've had many people ask me questions. Burnout versus spiritual awakening. You can experience both of them at the same time, but it's hard to discern because they both are very similar and they can mask one another. But sometimes burnout can be the portal to a spiritual awakening. Now, what does that mean? Well, in a burnout, you're tired in your current life. That life isn't suiting you anymore, who you are, what you are becoming. You're more in tune to certain parts of your existence, and that life is not serving you. You're physically drained, but you can't seem to rest fully. You're emotionally raw and sensitive to everything. Sometimes you feel detached, like you're watching your life instead of living your life. The old habits, the old goals, they start to feel meaningless and they don't really resonate with you as deeply as they did. Burnout isn't always just a sign that you need to rest. But to look at it deeper, it's showing you that your soul is done with the life that you've been living, that old version of you. When your body and soul are exhausted by the life that no longer fits, when the pressure to keep going just gets unbearable, that's often the moment when your higher self whispers, there's more for you. But first, we have to clear what's not aligned. So that may be where you are, this burnout leading you to a spiritual awakening. Many people start their spiritual awakening path through joy, but that's not always the case. Sometimes there needs to be a collapse. Sometimes there needs to be a disruption, a loss, exhaustion, or emptiness. It's a breaking open that is sacred. It's kind of like your nervous system is putting up a white flag. It's your spirit saying, hey, we've outgrown this. We can't keep pushing through something that isn't true anymore. And that's not a failure, so don't beat yourself up about that. What that is your body showing you that you are ready to evolve for something new. And you start to crave depth and truth and realignment. These are all signs to let you know that this is a spiritual awakening and that you are on this new path. So if this all sounds familiar, then it's letting you know that it's not just the burnout. Your soul is reclaiming itself. It's clearing, it's unraveling, it's remembering. So here are some of the signs that you know this is not burnout, but spiritual awakening. Okay, number one, you're extra sensitive. You feel like your emotions are heightened. Sounds feel louder. Crowds feel heavier. And you get drained easily. This isn't a weakness, but this is your intuition getting heightened and helping you to really experience where you are physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually in your present moment. It's your intuition waking up. Your energy is becoming more attuned to what you have going on around you. For example, a lot of people, when they are spiritual awakening, they don't really like to go to places where there's just so many people. It can be exhausting and draining, and even the idea of it could just be overwhelming. Sign number two, you crave solitude. There comes a time when you are on a spiritual awakening path where you really just don't want to be with a lot of people. You want to be at home alone. Not that you want to avoid people, but your soul is asking for space to process. And this is a common one that some people get a little bit conscientious about because they know they want to be with people and they force themselves to. But sometimes you just need some space to be quiet, to be still, and to not expose yourself to so many other people, just because that can cause more clutter in your being, and your being is asking for more space. And this is a time where you're going to start to integrate all that you've been experiencing and processing. And this alone time starts to become very sacred. And this is also a time when you might start to really journal, or you might look into meditating or doing guided meditations. This is when you will really feel that call to delve in deeper into what you are feeling and what you're thinking and what is going on in your life. Another sign, you're questioning everything. You're questioning, why am I here? What is my purpose? The old goals and old paths that you had made for yourself years ago aren't aligning anymore. They don't resonate with you as much. You don't feel really confident in those ideals that you had. And that's your inner truth, your inner self coming out to help you realize a new path. And one thing to realize is those old goals that you had, that you feel called that you have to continue to work towards, you can try, but you're going to start to get signs from the universe that it's just not going to jive anymore. It's not going to really fit or sit well with you. And sometimes the universe will give you signs to say, hey, this isn't a good idea. And then sometimes the universe might kind of force you to realize, okay, this is not where you should be going. And now we're helping you to go towards a new path. The next sign is that your emotions are all over the place. One minute you are super inspired, and then the next minute you might be in tears. This emotional roller coaster isn't instability. Your body is becoming more in tune to what you're feeling. You might be really jovial and really excited, and then the next minute you might be crying, and that's okay. But these are some old wounds that are starting to come up to the surface and just showing you the places and spaces where you might want to put some energy towards and address and start to clear it away. Because when you're on a spiritual awakening path and you have feelings that come up that can be overwhelming, that can cause you to have tears and fears and emotions, we want to make sure that we are aware of what is coming up. So you want to make sure you jot those down, because that is your soul showing you where you are having these wounds and what these wounds might be, that you can address them when you're ready, because they are surfacing for you to heal them. And a fifth sign is that you're seeing signs and synchronicities all around you. Numbers repeating, unexpected messages, dreams that feel real. You're being guided. You're not imagining it. Your spiritual team is making contact. And I'm going to share a quick story with you. When I was first starting my spiritual awakening path, I kept seeing 1111 everywhere, all the time. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, what is this number? What does this mean? Every time I would look at my phone or my watch, it would say 1111. In my mind at first, just a coincidence, like, oh my gosh, I keep seeing this number. And then as I was on my path, I realized these were signs. The angels were giving me signs of you are starting to wake up. And then the more you pay attention to it, you will get more signs everywhere, all around. I have a video about it if you want more information, but it's really powerful because all these synchronicities, things working out, not all of a sudden you're supposed to do something and then you get a sign about it. This is how you know you're on a spiritual awakening path, because things start to fit into place and things start to really work out in a different way than you would have expected. And it really can be a beautiful, transformative time. And it can also be many other things. but it is a process. These signs might feel really intense, but they're not here to break you. They're here to awaken you. And one of the most important things that I can share with you is to let go of the guilt of slowing down. That's one thing that in society today, we beat ourselves up about. Not being productive, not doing as much as we could, working nonstop. That's something to give yourself some grace and kindness about. The truth is, you're slowing down to realign for what's real for you. Healing can look like doing less. Awakening can sound like silence. Your tiredness might be your intuition asking you to finally rest and receive. This is a process that many of us are going through right now. So don't feel like you are alone. You have support all around you, and I am here to support you. And I'm sending you a lot of love, peace, harmony, and joy. Bye for now. Are you feeling exhausted and you don't know what is happening, awakening, burnout, whatever it is, you're just contending with all of this that's happening? You are not alone. This is a very tough topic because when you're tired and you're struggling, it's hard to know what is happening in your world. It can be very debilitating because you still have to live your life. You still have to go to work. You still have to take care of your families if you have one. You still have to eat. You have to cook dinner. You have to go to the grocery store. You have to take care of all the extra stuff that you have to do. Nothing stops. And so it can be a big bummer to have that while you are on your spiritual awakening path. But regardless of what it is fatigue. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that specifically so you understand why this is happening, because a lot of people get really frustrated, myself included. Just so you all know, I went through this and sometimes still go through this because when our bodies are up leveling, when we are on this new path, fatigue is going to be a part of it. And we can view it in a couple ways where, for example, this fatigue is definitely normal during a spiritual awakening process. And it's very common and it's a transformative part of it. You're integrating higher frequencies in your body and releasing the lower frequencies and vibrations you have been holding in all parts of you, your physical, your mental, emotional, and your spiritual bodies. And this can be taxing on your system. And it requires a lot of energy, substantial amounts of energy to do this process. And that leads you to being tired. Underneath that, even going deeper, is as your consciousness expands, your physical body is undergoing an energetic restructuring. The DNA, especially the so-called junk DNA, starts to reactivate the latent strands that are connected to your higher self and your soul memory. And this rewiring requires physical energy. The reason why it requires energy is because your pineal gland, the pituitary gland, and the vagus nerve are all recalibrating. So it's going from a place where you were to a higher level, higher frequency, and everything is adjusting inside you. Crystalline energy, which is often feeling like tingling, heat, or a buzzing, is starting to run through your chakras and your meridians. An old trauma that's stored in your fascia, your bones, and your womb is rising to be transmuted. Your body is literally becoming a higher frequency vessel. And this sacred exhaustion is your cocoon phase. Just like a caterpillar goes into the cocoon phase to become that beautiful butterfly, this is your cocoon phase right now. Not only does this awakening bring up unresolved emotions to the surface to be healed and cleared, where you're processing and healing old traumas, suppressed feelings, which can also be emotionally draining and cause that fatigue, you're also working on amplifying some of the subtle changes to your energy, like your clairaudience, which is hearing higher divine messages, your clairsentience, where you feel other people's energies or spirit. And you're also amplifying your emotional response to the collective consciousness out there, to the world, to all the people around you. And this can cause psychic fatigue, especially when you're in areas where there are a ton of people or electronically dense environments, when you're unconsciously absorbing other people's energies and emotions. And your aura is becoming more porous, where you are starting to really feel the influx of all the people around you. And that's due to this rapid expansion you're experiencing. This is why many awakened women and men go to detox themselves. They go into retreat where they want to have that sacred time to process all that's happening. They might even move locations because sometimes the world or the place that they're living is too overwhelming for them. Those people aren't escaping the world. They're not abandoning it, but they are going to a place where they can properly process and integrate and protecting their inner temple as it upgrades. It is believed in many spiritual traditions, fatigue accompanies the void, which is a sacred space where the old self dissolves before the new self is born. And that can bring on feelings of disconnection, feeling empty, loss of former passions, relationships, or roles, and a deep call to rest, which means you might sleep more than you normally do. This is not depression. This is ego death. Your identity is softening to allow your soul essence to shine through. And the body knows this before the mind does. As I mentioned before, when the caterpillar goes into the chrysalis, it doesn't know that it's going to be transformed into a beautiful butterfly. It only knows it must surrender. And this is what we must do too. Another thing that's also happening is you're doing some multidimensional processing where you are integrating soul lessons across lifetimes, not just this lifetime, but alternate lifetimes. And if you want more information about time, here's a video. And that means you're integrating alternate lives where there is grief, trauma, or even magic that was unprocessed. You're integrating parallel lives that are still holding karmic energy and future templates your higher self is guiding you towards. And this multidimensional processing can be extremely exhausting because our minds can't really understand it. The conscious mind can only see a fraction of what is happening behind the veil. And your sleep may become longer or fragmented, full of symbolic or visitive dreams. And sleep may also become a portal for healing with soul guides and ancestors. You're not just tired, you're working deeply in the unseen realms. Fatigue is a holy messenger, whispering truths to you like pause. Let spirit catch up with you. Your soul essence needs time for stillness so that it can unfold. It's time to receive, not produce. You are becoming. Let the old burn off gently. This is where crystal healing, anointing oils, flower essences, and healing can be very helpful for you because it can help you bring back parts of your body and your soul to you at this moment in time and bring it back into harmony. Remember, you are not lazy. You are not unproductive. On the contrary, you are doing so much work beyond your own conscientiousness. And I have also been through this. I have been on this path very deeply for many, many years and go through the ebb and flow of the fatigue. And one thing I can tell you is rest. Listen to your body. Be kind and have grace with yourself because this is an upgrade that you're having on a very massive, expansive level. And you're shedding that old self. So in order to be ready for the new, we must allow ourselves the time to get rid of this old, clogged, stagnant stuff that we just don't need anymore. That's how simple this can be. And when you're resting with this fatigue, you are receiving. That's a hard thing for many of us to do, is to receive, because we're constantly doing, making, producing. But this is the time to just allow it and just to receive all of this that's happening for you. So some takeaways for you: prioritize your rest, get some sleep. When your body says you need sleep, sleep. Get some grounding in. Walk barefoot in the grass or the sand or the dirt. Really connecting yourself into Mother Nature. Have a balanced diet. Eating wholesome foods can really help support you during this time. Set some boundaries. Limit your exposure to environments and people that might suck some of your energy out. You want to conserve your energy at this time. And seek some support. Connect with some people or communities or this channel where you can communicate with other people that are also going through this. This is a really sacred time. And when you look back, you'll say, oh my gosh, now I understand why I am going through this. Because when you're on the other side, you can look back and say, holy cow, I really did go through so much. Remember that fatigue is a sign of profound transformation and inner work. Embrace it as a testament to your soul growth. Are you feeling emotionally drained, exhausted? Feel like you've lost a part of yourself? Maybe you've been carrying a lot for your children. Maybe you've been carrying a lot for your partner, for your parents, for your job, for your family. Now your soul is whispering, come home to you. Today, I'm sharing 3 simple rituals that you can do every single day to help you feel less burnt out and more energized, to help you to get in touch with your higher self's truth and come back to yourself. Right now, there's this ascension that's happening on the earth, and I invite you to take this opportunity with all the frequencies and the high vibration right now. I invite you to utilize this time to help yourself become that woman you want to be, to release and get rid of the old wounds, shed the old patterns and the old skin you've been wearing. This is the time. The first ritual is something I call soul check-in. It's so simple. When you wake up in the morning, before you jump out of bed, before you get on with your routine, you want to stop. You want to close your eyes. You want to put your hands on your heart center, and you want to ask your soul, your higher self, what does my soul need today? It might be something like stillness, hydration, a walk in nature, or simply space to just be and feel. Allow your soul to come in and share with you what would be the best thing for you. Try not to let your mind give you your list of things you have to accomplish, because this is how you really get in tune with your soul. And just be still. Lay there and say, I am open to hearing what my soul needs today. And quiet your mind. And I promise you, you will get an answer. You will get a drop in. If it could be a vision, a sound, or a song, or it could be just the idea of something. That's your soul coming in to give you cues and clues to what you could benefit from. And then try to act on that for even 60 seconds. That's 1 minute. That's not that much time. But whatever your soul is asking you to do, try to focus and do that at least once that day. And if you do this every day, you might get different ideas. Your soul might say, okay, you need this today. You need that today. And whatever it is, try to focus and do it for 1 minute. I promise you, this will change everything for you. The next ritual is called the energy reset ritual. This one's quick but powerful. And this is something you can do seated or standing. You're going to take your hands from the crown of your head and you're going to sweep away towards your feet 3 times. And you're going to say, I now release all energies that are not mine. I call back my power now. And as you do this 3 times and you sweep your hands from the crown of your head to your feet, you say these words: I now release all energies that are not mine. I call back my power now. What we're doing is we're clearing away any energies that you have stored in or taken on from anyone in your environment, in your world, in your reality. We do that unbeknownst to ourselves. When you're on the phone with someone, when you're interacting in person, or you're listening to someone share a story, you sometimes take on their energy, and that can bog you down and make you exhausted and feeling heavy. So you want to do this every single morning. And I also do it at the end of the day, because during the day we take on a lot of people's energies too. And you clear it away, and you shall feel a difference if you do this every single day. And what this is doing is it's clearing away any energetic static we pick up, and it helps you to get more grounded into your physical body. The third ritual is gratitude for your body. Right before you go to bed, you want to choose one part of your body that may be a bit sore or tired or is even changing. And you want to whisper, thank you, and I love you. It could be your feet for holding you up all day. It could be your eyes for watching your children. It can be your uterus for changing and going through changes as you're getting older and your body is shifting and changing. It doesn't matter where you choose, but what you're doing is you're rewriting in your nervous system the idea of depletion to love. And when you do this right before you go to bed, this works in your subconscious mind as you sleep. So this is a very, very powerful ritual to do. It's tender, it's quiet, and it's very transformational. You know, burnout isn't a flaw, it's a signal. It's a sacred invitation to help you dive deeper into your own being and into what's happening inside you. Start with these 3 simple rituals. Let them anchor you. Let them help you be even more grounded into your being. Remember, you're not behind. You're exactly in right timing. And if you want deeper support, I have a free spiritual awakening kit. It's designed to guide you back to your essence. So check it out. It's in the description box below. You're worthy of your own love, rest, and reclamation. What ritual are you going to start to do tonight? Put it in the comments. I'd love to hear. And I'm sending you a lot of love, peace, harmony, and joy. Bye for now.